Good evening.
Evening. Sorry, my computers are all moving very slowly. I couldn't even get in on the one that I usually run the meeting on. Hopefully I can get the agenda up on that one, though.
That's all right. Yeah, nice to see you. Glad you're here. We were here at 6 o'clock. We misread the.
What?
So I'm like, I can't get in. I don't know what's going on. Nobody's there. And then Ann said, the agenda says 6:30. And I'm like, oh, see you in 25 minutes.
We are so
Wow.
ready. I'm like, get some popcorn. This is gonna be great.
I'm not ready.
Hi, Leah. Oh gosh.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. It doesn't really feel like we really left, I guess, in some ways.
We met a lot during the summer. I will.
Yeah, like for a season, for a summer without contract negotiations, it really did feel like a busy summer. All right.
A lot of learning happened, and I'm very grateful that the next things we're not paying for. So I'm so excited for that.
I have to say, I was extremely very scared when we got that email from Frank this week about what's the deal with the I forget, with the jets or whatever. What's the deal with the pump, the whatever needing to be fixed? And it turned out it was a mix up between us and Sunderland Elementary. But I was like, what? What is this thing?
I opened that, and I opened it at a weird time, and I said, Anne, do not respond. Do not respond. Maybe you're missing.
I was at school, and I'm starting to learn that lesson as well, because I similarly was going to be like, I guess maybe it's because the Jets were all getting fouled, and now we need to do this. But then I was like, this doesn't sound like this. Why is this falling right now? Like, what is...
The only thing that we requested them take a look at was getting the grant to see if we could qualify for the mini splits, because I guess they're still offering that grant state. So that was the only thing. So if a quote comes through for that, I know what that is. But other than that, there shouldn't be any other quotes.
Okay. So. All right. Well, let's call this let's hold on, I'm just checking. Let's call this this meeting of the subcommittee on policy to order at 6:34. Yeah, 6:34. Hi, everybody. Our first order of business is to approve the minutes from June 12th, 2025.
I move to approve the minutes from, you said June 12th, 2025?
Yep. I will second that. And then I guess we have to vote too. Is there any discussion of it?
I do have an amendment.
Okay.
Well, it's actually more of like a question. So there were, I thought, a couple policies we brought for deletion. I think it works out because I don't see them on the agenda for the full school committee meeting today. But I don't know if it's highlighting both. I think I only saw one, but I could have misread as well. But there were a couple that I think we brought for deletion in June, but I'm not sure are reflected in the notes appropriately.
Okay.
That's all.
I will check with Robin. You'll see that she has a default setting as a note taker to some of these meetings so that she can get a better picture. So I will check with that. I really can't answer that off the fly. I don't remember.
And I'm just going to say that I had to make up the meetings from our brief meeting this summer. And I guess somehow the last meeting of last year. And I do not envy her job at all. That was those are hours of my life. Even using AI, those are hours of my life I will not get back. Trying to figure out who said who first and seconded and voted after the fact. And
well, that's the problem, right?
I'm tired of watching myself.
A really clear thing, but they don't tell you who said what.
Yeah. Oh, it's so bad. So I had this and then you got to put it in the format and everything else. It was a lot. Okay, so you'll take a look into that. Thank you. Sorry, I'm still just trying to find my actual agenda on this meeting. I have not the one that I can actually open. Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I got it now. All right, so today what we are looking at, the policies that we have for review are, oh wait, no, we have to vote. So all in favor for the approval of the minutes, my UI.
Jack guy with
Thank
the
you.
potential amendment.
For the potential amendment. Thank you, Leah. Policies that we have for review tonight are IHAM, health education, KA, school community relations goals, KBA, school parent guardian relations goal, EBC, which is gifts and solicitations by staff, and KI being visitors to schools. So none of that requires a vote, but we can discuss anything that we want to see changed or any clarifications we need.
So do I need to, so we don't need to vote to discuss.
We don't need to vote. This is just like, we're just at the start of the year, we're just discussing. There's no, actually, I don't think there's anything we have to vote on at all tonight, unless maybe we have to vote on the policies to be added. No, that's to be added here, yes?
So
Jen?
that policy to be added is a policy from MASC that we don't have at all in our policies.
And that's new business tonight. That's like, this is
That
our
would
first.
be new business. So policies for review, we can take a look at them and we can, if we don't want to make any moves tonight, we can certainly take a look, discuss them and keep them. The agenda will look a little similar next month. I will say that Shutesbury's in pretty good shape as far as reviewing their policies. They're not in terrible shape. So there's nothing that's super pressing that we can't extend that.
Okay.
I think we did have, when we discussed this earlier on the health education IHAM, if you look on the MASC reviewed one, I think we had made some changes in our last discussion. I think
That's right.
I will be very upfront. I tend to be let's defer to MASC. They've been vetted by attorneys and they have an expertise that we don't. But I think we did do some corrections and I think you should be able to see them in pink on your copy.
I
On the
see
MASC.
green.
Oh, green. Okay. In mine, it printed pink. So
IHAM, right? The health
Yep.
education one.
that health education will be integrated across grades K and 6.
Yep.
And we took out that it will be taught as a separate class because that's not the format that we have
Right.
necessarily.
Right. We do incorporate it into PE, and we also, the nurse does talks with the kids.
Okay, but it's not separate. Not a
Right.
separate class. Okay.
Right.
And
There haven't been any
line-
big changes. It's even MASC, if you'll notice, it says that they reviewed it. They didn't make any changes. So we could mark this as reviewed because it doesn't stray really from our policy with the exception of that just clarifying that we're K6.
Okay.
And that line I actually pulled from the old policy into this one, just to like get that language right in terms of us being K to K.
Yep.
Or should it actually?
We're pre-K to 6, and
Yeah.
they go to PE as well. So
Okay, so then we should make it PK.
PK? Okay, so I can make that suggested.
And we want to take out the as a separate class in other grades. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's already
That's already changed.
stricken through. I don't know.
Yeah,
It doesn't show up on mine. That's why I was asking.
Mm.
But that's not surprising tonight with this computer.
So if this committee wants to, we can mark it as reviewed and we can put the date, we'll say September 2025. And then it will come off of our agenda, but it'll sort of be a placeholder so we know the last time we looked at it.
Okay.
As a
Great.
committee.
Yeah, it was reviewed, and last time it was reviewed by us was 22. Yep. Okay. The original, the one that we have.
Yeah, and it really hadn't changed.
Nope. All right. Are there any other ones we want to address there in the policies for review? Is there anything else there that people saw or want to discuss? I looked over the gifts and solicitations in particular. All of it looks pretty boilerplate.
Yeah.
What I've seen.
I do think that our current policies from Shutesbury on school and community relations is pretty different than what's in the MASC. So I think we want to take a look at that, and same with the school goals. We have a lot more than MASC does. I agree the gifts and donations is pretty
Straightforward.
standard, and we just looked at it in September of last year.
Okay.
The reason it came up is because MASC, I'm looking at, I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, the gifts and solicitations by staff, so that's GEBC. They added on the second page a section on raffles and games of chance, which was not in there. Everything else has changed, but state law has some really big feelings and directions about that. And it was not in the old MASC policy, and so it's not in ours. So I would recommend that we add that addition and we update it and bring it to the full committee, because that is an addition. It's probably not a, it should be pretty quick because we just approved it. It was one of the first policies we approved last September.
So I'm just looking at the school community relations goals.
Games of chance. There it is.
Does that count as like raffles? We have a big scholarship. We have a big scholarship raffle up at our school.
Yeah. So it's just talking about that they can't be organized by the school as the sponsoring organization. So a parent group can do it.
Okay.
A teacher, if they were a parent, could take part in it, but the school,
Even a teacher, like, could the union be the sponsor of it? No. Okay.
Nope, the school can't be the sponsor of it. So I know a lot of times, you'll have like calendar raffles and lottery tree raffles. They have to be an outside, so it could be a booster organization. It just can't be the school running it. So Anne couldn't say we're doing a fundraiser for new gym equipment. I believe the PTO can sponsor it. Actually, I'm sure of it. But the school can't be the sponsor of it.
Because I know, like, it's the teachers union that sponsors the end of the raffle up at our school, and it's for a scholarship.
Maybe they can, because it's an outside group, but it's not Franklin Tech that sponsors it.
No, exactly. Yeah, it's the teachers association.
That's the only
verification. I kind of like, I'm looking at the school and community relations goals. I do like the way that ours is so much more, like, it feels more Shutesbury to me. The way that it's written.
Something for you. That is something for you to think about. I think also the parent and guardian relations. The only thing that in the parent and guardian relations, and maybe, I can share with you what some of my talking points are, and we can keep these two on the agenda for next time. In the parent and guardian relations, I have a little apprehension around in the fourth paragraph. So much of that is not very easy to be, it's very subjective in interpretation. So when we say sharing information between parents and guardians should occur in best interests of the child. It's really hard it's ambiguous, and I just wonder if we want to put that. I have it gives me a little pause, because I think it could open us up to, well, you have a policy. I think this is in best interest of for our child, that and we do want to have those discussions in collaboration.
And I also feel like the MASC on that is very, this is one of those ones where there is, I think, a little bit of legal bearing on it. Like, parents could lean on it. And I think that that's a place where, like, maybe the more state language, it's briefer. It's much more like specific. Like, I get that. But when I look at like the school and community relations goals, that one for me, when I look at that one, and I look at it, I like the focus on it about, like, every one of those starts with, like, like the school, the school committee believes that as a community school, Shutesbury Elementary should. It's just much more like, I think it captures the tone of Shutesbury Elementary in a way that the MASC's is like, it does the same thing that the other one does, except that this isn't like a legal thing. This is like just more of a, like, this is what we're aspiring to do. And I don't feel like anybody's going to come to us and be like, you're not really communicating clearly. Like the way that a parent might come back at us with the, like, actually it says in your goals that this is what you're supposed to be doing. And that might be a little bit more troublesome.
And then I wonder, and I don't, like I said, I have a little bit more concern about the one that I just pointed out, because it's not very, it's pretty subjective. I wonder if that statement should be in your parent handbook and school handbook and not in your policy.
Yep.
And I think that parents are more apt, and I mean, listen, we all know that they're not really good. You know, many parents don't read, you know, every bit of the policy, but I wonder, because it is about what sense of community we want to have in Shutesbury, and, you know, the spirit of the goals and relationships. So I wonder if some of that should be moved to the parent handbook. As
there is a lot in the handbook.
This is what we want for Shutesbury, as opposed to the policy. I'm not necessarily opposed to it staying in the policy, but I just wonder if it's better suited to the handbook.
I'm good with moving to the MASC policy for KBA in particular. I agree with Jeremy that I did like the detail, but I'm also a little bit hesitant with regards to the level of detail there and potential opportunities for risk. So I'm fine with moving to the MASC language for KBA. And like thinking about how to incorporate that into the handbook. I think that's a great idea, Shannon.
So do we want to, if I'm hearing correctly, we're going to, and because Robin is going to be on me first thing in the morning about this. She's like, you were just at the meeting, how can you not remember? I'm like, we talk about a lot of things.
Yeah.
So we're going to, just so I'm on the same piece. IHAM, we're going to mark it as reviewed. We're just going to make that one change.
I had a question about that one, Shannon.
Oh, okay. All right. So then
I come back to that one
stop
when
there.
you're done.
Nope, that's fine. We'll circle back. So I won't mark anything there yet. School and parent KBA. We're going to default to, we're going to recommend to the committee, and they may feel, you know, who knows what they decide, but we're going to school parent guardian relations goals. We're going to default to the MASC.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have a motion for that?
Oh yeah, sure.
I move to update the language for KBA to the MASC default language.
I second that. All in favor? My UI.
Okay.
Jack,
It's ridiculous that you have to vote after making the motion and second.
I know, but
I get it though, because we have sometimes we have debate, right? After
Very
that
good point.
motion.
yeah.
Whatever Mr. Roberts wants, he gets.
So do we want to keep KA?
I really like the way that ours reads, and I was just trying to look at them back to back, and I just can't. I don't see, other than the briefness of the MASC one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really feel like it gives anything else that's like really helpful, other than its briefness. That's what's helpful, and I like the flavor. I like the flavor of the Shutesbury Elementary School one as it stands now. So I'm just trying to see if there's anything. I've been trying to see if there's anything in the MASC that I'm missing that should be in the SES one.
So if you would like, I can keep this on the agenda for the next meeting, which gives us time to dive into it. I could also ask our own counsel right? What
Mhm.
their thoughts are. My guess is he's not gonna stray from MASC is my guess, but
Mm.
instead of saying which should we have, I'm gonna say, is there any reason if we wanted to keep the other that we open ourselves up to any kind of
Yeah, that's fine.
issue?
I mean, the one thing that I see that I'm not really seeing in ours right now is the recognition programs that publicly honor the contributions of our students, employees, and community partners and express pride in our individual and collective accomplishments.
Mhm.
That's not in ours right now. And I guess maybe yeah, I mean, maybe those bold pieces would be worth trying to work those in somewhere just because they are somewhat different, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's leave this one on for next.
And in the interim, I will run it by Adam and just say, are there any parts that you read in ours? Because I'm gonna have to phrase it. Don't tell me that MASC is where we should go, because we know that, but are there any parts that in our current policy that he feels opens us up to something that we're not thinking of?
Yeah,
and if not, then I'll bring that for you two to debate.
And so if I wanted to, I could take that and kind of meld the two and I could bring that back next time, right?
You could, yeah, and if you send it to Robin in advance, that could be like a draft that we could discuss.
Okay, sounds good.
And maybe what I'll do is I'll keep it short because we'll probably spend more time on that.
Okay.
So I'll have fewer things. So that will move to next. KA is going to move to next month.
Okay.
And one thing that I've been doing, Jeremy, is asking for like comment access so I can do track changes in the document, because I feel like it's helpful to see what's changing.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Let's see what's next.
Just putting that somewhere where I'm going to remember it. That's all.
All
right. Yep, go ahead.
Gifts and solicitations by staff. We just did this in 24. We're going to just bring that, right? We're going to
put it right back
to the committee.
Yep.
With the addition.
Fast track.
Okay.
I vote to, do I need to do any votes?
That we're going to move the updated version to the full committee.
Okay. I will eventually get the hang of this.
That's right.
I move to share the full GBEBC policy with the school committee for review.
I second that. All in favor? My UI.
Jack, aye.
All right. Visitors to school. My recommendation, so we have last looked at this as it was reviewed in 2022. This was rewritten by MASC in 2025. It does talk more about photographs and given our social media presence and you know how pervasive that is. My recommendation would be that we go to the new policy, MASC policy, because they have a little bit more, not really great language, but they talk very explicitly about, you know, you can't photograph students without explicit permission, and it's just a little cleaner language, and their cross references are more expansive. There's none in our current policy. So when we're looking to say what other policies does this impact, the new MASC ruling lists those. And this is one of those policies that might actually get used when people come to the school, as opposed to some policies that we don't really use. So my recommendation would be to take the updated policy.
I am fine with that.
I just had a question on, there was a note from MASC about, or I guess I should say MASC, about any others to designate. Like there's that note at the bottom, and I don't know if there's anything we should add. It doesn't sound like it, but just
I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it would be rare that you would ask somebody for actual identification when they're signing into the office. Like, it's not like a thing where they have to have a government issued ID. So I don't feel like we really need to add anything in on that, right?
I think if they're getting access to the school, there's a whole process, right? Like they've got to do the
yes.
query, they've got to do that. If they're
Yes.
picking up and we don't know them, yes, but if it's a visitor, like.
Yeah.
You know,
But if
It's
we're
not-
picking up and we don't know them, we're checking their ID.
Right. No, that makes sense. But I'm just saying a visitor to the building coming in isn't going to necessarily have, it's not going to be an impediment to them being able to visit the building if they don't have an ID. Like, that's not something that I think we're really worried about in this situation. Right?
It's more about having the knowledge that they like what they're coming for, what they need.
Right.
Like, I'm surprised that the state hasn't identified themselves as being people who can come at any time. Because I have seen that before. But we are super careful, especially during school hours, because you don't always know everything. And we've even had people that wanted to come visit with their children that we have had those visits after school hours, just so yeah, then we don't have to worry about people's Corey status.
I'm going to be a pain in the butt, though, and only say that I do like the way Shutesbury's beginning reads again. Like, I just, it's all about intense, and it's all about not just sounding just like the state language. And I love that it starts off with the Shutesbury Elementary School should be a welcoming place that promotes connection with parents, guardians, and interested members of the community, and also ensures the safety of students and staff, as outlined by the Buildings and Grounds Security Policy. A visitor to the school is anyone who's not currently, like, even the definition of what a visitor is, like, I might even just have that first paragraph in, because then again, it feels like it's ours and not just MASC.
Do you want to amend the motion and say that we're going to use the MASC language with the addition of the first paragraph?
Yes, that's what I would say.
Leah,
I'm fine with their legalese. I just like the way that makes us sound like us and not like a generic thing. I want to maintain some of that even as we cover our legal butts.
So you say all the nice things, and then you just say, but
But
and then we go into the legal part.
What do you think, Leah?
I'm good with that. I can actually just do track changes now and I think copy it in.
Perfect.
I vote to use the new MASC policy for visitors in the school under KI with the addition of the first paragraph of the old Shutesbury policy for KI.
Okay.
I second that. All in favor? Mayu, aye.
Jack, aye.
And then we have one policy to be added, but we don't, it's 1 minute before our next meeting. Do you want me to keep that on the agenda for our?
Let's just keep it on the agenda for next time.
So on our next agenda, we're going to have KBA. No, I'm sorry, KA and ECAB will stay on the next agenda.
Great.
What about IHAM? That one we're moving forward to the full committee tonight.
No, we just marked it for review. We do, because we didn't do any substantive changes. We can just mark it that this committee reviewed it in 2025. We'll put the date. There's nothing for the committee to vote on because there were no changes. It just lets us know the last time we took a look at it.
And what was the one that I am going to incorporate into the student handbook? Was that KA?
Well,
That was
yeah, we're gonna, I think you'll probably need to look at that. You probably need to wait till after the next meeting.
Sure.
To add that, because it will depend on what it looks like in the final policy.
Sounds great.
I mean, you can certainly add it anyway. It won't hurt because that is the handbook piece, but.
Sure. Is it the KA or the KBA? The relationships goal or the school community relations?
KBA, I'm going to look at and try to meld the two, and then the other one we were moving forward to the committee, I think.
Thank you.
Otter will tell us. All right.
All right. Well,
that was actually the funniest part. I just want to say quickly, I know we got to go to the other meeting, but it was the funniest part was us having to talk about Otter at the beginning of the last meeting. That was the funniest part of the transcript. Was just like
it was
all of us talking in imagery about like what the otter was. So, all right, I'll see you at the next meeting.
We're gonna adjourn at 7:01.
Sorry, move to adjourn, Leah.
Yes, so moved.
All right, all in favor.
See ya.
See you guys in a minute.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.